Amid calls of non-action in the 100 kg gold scam, the government today has directed for the police intervention to probe the latest incident of gold smuggling. With the CIB team also probing the gold scam alongside the Revenue Investigation Department, the general speculations could be that the investigations this time would dig deep to crack the long-standing nexus of gold smuggling, which in recent time has been seen in the light of the issues of national security. Good evening, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. At least 11 Nepali nationals feared missing in a major landslide on Kedarnath trekking route in Uttarakhand state of India. Many are feared buried. Search and rescue operation underway. Gold smuggling scam to be investigated by Nepal police as inter-country organized crime linked. The CIB team faces the challenge of not being influenced from any high profiles. The Indian Supreme Court scraps opposition Congress party leader Rahul Gandhi's conviction in a defamation case. The order paves way for Rahul's return to parliament and contest national elections. And former national skipper Gyanendra Malla announced a retirement from international cricket, says a different innings to begin from now onwards. At least 11 Nepali nationals are reported missing in a devastating landslide that struck Kedarnath, Gaurukanda in the Indian state of Uttarakhand. The landslide had swept away the hotels they were staying in. Most of the missing Nepali nationals are reported to be local residents of Jumla Patarasi rural municipality. 3 hotels in Gaurikunda have been swept away by landslides triggered by heavy rainfall in the region. Chairperson of Patarasi rural municipality, Purna Singh Bohra, informed that the Nepali nationals reported missing in the landslide had reached the region in connection with business. Indian media has been reporting of the hotels being swept away by the landslides. Chief District Officer of Jumla, Jayakumar Ghimire, said that he was informed of the incident by Patarasi Chairperson Bohra and that he had briefed the Home Ministry about the tragic incident. In the meantime, the Home Ministry has corresponded with Ministry of Foreign Affairs to coordinate in the rescue efforts. The Home Ministry has cited a local online news portal, Hilbani, while asking for the coordination from the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs. The government is all geared up to entrust the investigations into the 100 kg gold scam to Nepal police. The Prime Minister today directed the police interference to probe the case, citing that there was possible involvement of an organized nexus. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has directed to reach at the bottom of the gold smuggling case by intensifying the probe through police involvement. The probe so far has been carried out by the Department of Revenue Investigation. Some 18 individuals, including 3 foreign nationals, so far have been arrested in connection with the gold smuggling. Despite the passing away of just over 2 weeks since the gold scam occurred on the night of 19th of July, the investigations have failed to trace the mastermind or the owner of the confiscated gold. The Prime Minister today held a meeting with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Purna Bahadur Khadka, Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Attorney General Dinmani Pokhrel, IGP Basant Bahadur Kuwar, CIB Chief Kiran Bhattacharya and Director General of Revenue Investigation Department Nawaraj Dhungana to arrive at the decision of entrusting the investigation assignment to Nepal police. During the interaction, it was discussed that the scam should not just be seen as inter-country smuggling, rather there could be the involvement of some terrorist organizations as well. It has been speculated that the confiscated gold was smuggled by agents in Hong Kong, China and Dubai by making Nepal the transit point, while the gold destination could be the Indian market. Following Prime Minister Dahal's directive, the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police would handle the case, while Bureau Chief Kiran Bhattacharya said that the CIB team would storm into action once it got hold of the necessary documents. Central Committee members of CPN Maoist Center have demanded that leaders alleged of involvement in corruption scam should be suspended and action should be taken against them. In the ongoing Central Committee meeting in the capital's Academy Hall, the leaders presenting their views said that the names of Maoist leaders have been linked in corruption scandal and therefore such leaders needed to be suspended for impartial investigation. Commenting on the political report presented by the Maoist chairperson Puspa Kamal Dahal, the central members have flayed the modus operandi of the party leadership. They have alleged the leadership of not functioning as per the party statute. They viewed that in the face of a series of corruption scandals, the public trust towards the government and the party was dwindling. In the face of the lack of mandatory provisions in the Constitution, Kosi Province Assembly has been without a speaker since Baburam Gautam resigned from the post this week to vote for the recently appointed Chief Minister Uddhav Thapa. Constitutional provisions require the appointment of a speaker and deputy speaker within 15 days of conclusion of election. In case of absence of any or both of the officials, assembly members can vote and choose the successors among themselves. However, a time frame for the election of a speaker or deputy speaker has not been determined by the Constitution. The Secretariat of Kosi Province Assembly has said it is preparing for the election of a speaker following consultations with political parties. The election is, however, expected to be tricky to say the least, considering the Province Assembly equation among the parties. Former Speaker Baburam Gautam had resigned from the post to lend his vote to make it 47 for the ruling alliance to form the provincial government. So the ruling alliance once again feel the candidate, the Chief Minister, might not garner the majority votes to sustain his government. Opposition parties CPN-UML and Rashtriya Prajantantra Party are also unwilling to take the post as it would solidify Thapa-led government. It has been understood that the ruling alliance has urged Rashtriya Prajantantra Party to field the candidate for the position. And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And before we give you today's question, let's take a look at a response to yesterday's question. And yesterday we had asked you, why are government officials reluctant to go to remote areas? 40% of you voted for option A, lack of accountability. 30% voted for option B, lack of facilities. And 30% voted for option C, no actions taken. And here is today's question. And the question is, why has the responsibility to investigate the gold smuggling scam been given to Nepal police? Your options are option A, to make investigation effective, option B, to crack organized crime, and option C, to save one's kith and kin. The voting is on. Type in AWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share opinion with us. And in our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces, why has the government remained indifferent in implementing the recommendations by Human Rights Commission? Let's take a look at what they have to say.
स्वयं राज्य सत्ता पनि दोषी हुने भयो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि उनीहरुले चाहिँ त्यस खालका घटनाहरुमा चाहिँ उनीहरु चाहिँ उदासीन रहन्छ
राजनीतिक दलका मान्छेहरु नै छन् उनीहरुले चाहिँ पछि कारबाही गर्दाखेरि पनि त्यसमा आफू पनि मुसिन्छ कि भन्ने डरले चाहिँ त्यो कारबाही नगरेको
राजनीतिक दलले आफ्नो कार्यकर्ता र अफन्तलाई बचाउनको लागि यस्तो गरेको देखिन्छ
आफ्नै नेता कार्यकर्ताहरु चाहिँ धेरै पर्ने सम्भावना भएको हुनाले उनीहरुले यो विषयमा पटक्कै चासो दिएको छैन
कार्यान्वयन गरेपछि सरकारी पक्ष नै कमजोर देखिने हुनाले
कुनै न कुनै पार्टीबाट संलग्न हुन्छ र उसका नेताहरूले चाहिँ उलाई जोगाउनको लागि उदासीन हुन्छ
राजनीतिमा यो भागभण्डाको संस्कृतिले यो खालको वातावरण सृजना गरिरहेको छ
आफू बच्नको लागि त्यसमा चासो नदिएको देखिन्छ
सरकार आफैले मानव अधिकार उल्लङ्घन गर्ने काम गरिरहेको छ अनि आफू अप्ठ्यारोमा पर्छु भन्ने हिसाबले आफैले किन अब त्यसमा सहयोग गरोस् कार्यान्वयन गरोस्
सरकारकै गैर जिम्मेवारीको कारणले
नभएको सब दोष कि सर्वसाधारण होस् न उनीहरुलाई पनि उही कठघरा उही खालको कानुन हुनु पर्यो उनीहरुलाई पनि सुविधा हुनु भएन
राजनीति खिचतानी र राजनीति उन्मुक्तिको कारणले गर्दाखेरि
मानव अधिकार उल्लङ्घनको घटनामा चाहे त्यो कार्यकर्ता हुँदाको समयमा होस् चाहे त्यो नेतृत्व तहमा पुगिसकेपछिको कष्टमा होस् विभिन्न कालखण्डमा कहीं न कहीं आफै मुछिएको कारणले गर्दा
And now time for international update. The Indian Supreme Court today suspended opposition Congress party leader Rahul Gandhi's conviction in a defamation case, an order that will allow him to return to parliament and contest elections due next year. Gandhi was convicted in March in a case brought by a lawmaker from the western state of Gujarat belonging to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party over comments he made in 2019 were deemed insulting to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other people surnamed Modi, including the lawmaker himself. Gandhi, 53, scion of a dynasty that has given India 3 prime ministers, was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, but the jail term was put on hold and he was granted bail. He also lost his parliamentary seat following the conviction, since lawmakers sentenced to jail terms of 2 years or more are automatically disqualified. Lower courts and the High Court in Gujarat had rejected appeals by Rahul Gandhi to suspend the conviction, which caused him to appeal to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, jailed Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny had an extra 19 years added to his jail term this evening in a criminal case which he and his supporters said was trumped up to keep him behind bars and out of politics for even longer. Navalny, aged 47, President Vladimir Putin's fiercest domestic critic, is already serving sentences totaling to 11.5 years on fraud and other charges that he says are also bogus. His political movement has been outlawed and declared extremist. A court at the IK-6 penal colony in Melekovo, about 235 kilometers east of Moscow, where he is serving his sentences, was trying him on Friday on 6 separate criminal charges, including inciting and financing extremist activity and creating an extremist organization. The audio feed from the court was so poor that it was practically impossible to make out what the judge was saying. Navalny's team said the judge had added 19 years to his sentences as a result of the new charges. State prosecutors had asked the court to hand him another 20 years in a penal colony.
Sports news.
And back home, the former skipper of national cricket team Gyanendra Malla has announced his retirement from the international cricket. Organizing a press conference in the capital today, Malla announced of ending his international cricket career. Announcing his retirement, Gyanendra Malla thanked his family members, Cricket Association of Nepal, coaches and fans. Malla also expressed happiness for leading the country on numerous occasions. Saying that all his laurels came from sporting arena, it was not easy to bid goodbye and called it a difficult decision. Malla also announced of beginning a new innings, but did not elaborate. Malla had debuted in ACC Trophy back in the year 2006 and had played for Nepal for a career spanning 18 years. Gyanendra remained deputy to Paras Khadka for a long period of time as he became the skipper of national team for the first time 4 years ago. However, his stint as a captain was short-lived as he was led off the duty when Can took disciplinary actions against 4 cricketers from the national team. Gyanendra mostly played as an opener and one-down bat and was also seen in the duty of keeper behind the stumps. Gyanendra scored one-day international century in his international career and accumulated 876 runs in 37 one-day internationals. And those were our latest headlines. Up next is News in Nepali. Good night.